I would like to begin this video with a quote, not from a famous artist, philosopher, or academic, but from Mr. Krampus, my Year 8 art teacher, who told my mum at a parent-teacher interview, "I wish I could tell you that Jack has any artistic ability at all, but he does not." Mr. Krampus was not being mean or vindictive in these words. I think he sensed the reality that I had come to terms with my lack of artistic talent, and it was not something I was self-conscious about. He was right, but he didn't realize what may be the most formative part of my personality. I am very creatively minded, though not creatively talented. There is not a single medium of art that I haven't tried, and in all of them I am decidedly below average. I love data, statistics, and spreadsheets, and I've applied my passion for creativity in these areas throughout my life. This preamble may seem like an excuse, but I feel it is important to explain that the value I've gotten from this project has been sincerely personal. Being able to express myself creatively, alone in an empty apartment with the world at a standstill, has been one of the most poignant creative journeys I've ever been on. There is a good chance, however, that this poignancy will be lost. Firstly, through the lackluster art I have created, and secondly, through my inability to have someone else film my journey. I hope that I've found a way to communicate just how emotional this journey has made me. Though the camera work is shoddy and the art itself is bad, this video is my attempt at documenting a profound creative journey. I'm an SLSO at a local primary school. The best job I've ever had, and getting to see the different ways that students learn has been a great experience. Lockdown has had an effect on everyone, but it was interesting seeing the effect it had on students. Some of them flourished at home, while some floundered. I've been living by myself during lockdown, and like my students, I've had moments of great serenity and moments of great loneliness. This project has given me a purpose, a way to creatively express myself during times when I felt constrained by my surroundings. During these times, I've looked out this window. I love the view. I love the grass and the leaves turning from brown to green, and the tree from which I can hear my favorite sound in the world, the laugh of kookaburras. My 3 artistic endeavors have all been shaped from and by this window, which has often felt like my only connection to the outside world and my community.
Visual arts is always something I've found particularly challenging. I used an online tutorial to learn how to shade and blend colors together. I slowly got better until I could use different color strands to portray the distinct layers of the image, the sky, the leaves, and the branches. It's difficult to video yourself using a pencil, but I hope you get the sense that trial and error was a key part of the process. Florrie found that trial and error often constitutes the process of creating a work of art. I kept using the techniques from the tutorial, including using pencil shavings and other materials to blend until I got the desired result. A key part of my creative process is thinking about how I can apply what I've learned to students. Even though it wasn't a part of this assignment, which was supposed to be a personal creative learning journey, it was an important part of my experience. I spent lockdown in the learning support unit of my school. Although visual arts is an important part of all children's learning, it is especially helpful in engaging children with autism. A 2002 study found that exploring multisensory modalities has also been used to soothe autistic patients. The tactile sensory possibilities of visual arts is an effective way to teach these students. So it was with my students from the Learning Support Unit in mind when I added another layer on top, using simple geometric shapes which I associated with the view from my window. Although rudimentary in design and execution, I found it very fulfilling to combine both my academic research with my real-world experiences to design a simple piece of art which encompassed the entirety of my lockdown experience. For music, I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I've had a guitar for a while but haven't learned what to do with it, so I started by learning 4 chords. Khan found that most musicians focus on techniques before developing a unique style. My aim was to learn both guitar and songwriting techniques to enable me to write a piece of music. I wanted to write a piece of music that reflected the sounds and feelings of the view from my window. As Seeger said, the full auditory parameter of music is or can be represented by a partial visual parameter. This is me trying to learn how to pluck the strings from an online tutorial, a new way for me to play. I also learned about something called bar chords from an online tutorial. As Burns et al. Have found, the use of the digital and web technologies in learning instruments opens new perspectives. The proximity with a master or other players is no longer a constraint in practicing an instrument or style. The last chord of the 4, G, I turned into a bar chord. One of the tips in the songwriting tutorial I watched was to combine quiet with loud playing techniques, and to try to use your pinky to slightly change the sound of the chords so they wouldn't get too repetitive. This is the finished piece of music that I created using my new skills. For drama, I wanted to learn how to write a screenplay. Although this is a daunting task, I thought for this assignment I will be able to at least learn the formatting and layout basics, as well as some ideas on how to get started. Lee et al. Found when using the creation of a screenplay in an academic context, that screenwriting as a research practice is a complex and nuanced form of expression. One of the ideas that I found was adapting a text that hadn't been portrayed visually before, so you know the layout of the story, the characters, and where everything is going. I chose a Bob Dylan song instead of something longer like a book or a play, so that I would have more opportunity to put my own work into the story. Here is my work. However, I have a general outline and an understanding of how to craft a screenplay. I don't feel overwhelmed by the task, as I have learned the skills I need to continue my creative journey.